What's happening, boys? So today we're going to talk about battling anxiety as a man or a woman, to be fair, but I can only talk from experience of a man. There's no scientific facts to it. This is all just experience and how I conquered battling anxiety. So there was times, let's think about a year ago, right, where I was a bit of a mess head, just loved getting on the sets, drinking all the time, and you know, there was almost a degenerate ways. I'm 22 years old, right, so at this point in time I would have been about 20 turning 21, 20 turning 21-ish. So I was just in a drinking mode every weekend at the friends, the instant gratification zombie, some might say. So I started getting super anxious. I mean, I've always been somewhat of a confident person, even through the anxiety as like a mask of confidence, right? Even if it was a fake persona. So internally though, you feel that anxiousness, that like feeling in your fucking heart where it's like, you feel like you feel like you just want to sit like that all the time. Do you know what I mean? And you can't really get away from it. So me and my friend one night, drunk, funnily enough, we came to an agreement. We were both going to do an MMA fight. An ultra MMA, if you've heard of that, if you live in the UK. Basically what that is you have to generate something like 70 quid for charity cancer research, and you have to sell something like 5 tickets, which are 25 quid each. Now obviously your family are going to come watch, your friends. I think I sold about 22 tickets maybe in the end, something like that. So there was a lot of people there, man. The turnout was about £400, but anyway, £400, 400 people, not just for me. That wasn't for me, obviously, that was like the entire event. But the principle behind that is the reason why the anxiety started to disappear is because I started to train, and I started to get into a routine of like, right, I can't go down the pub tonight because I'm training. And then if you train on Saturday, for example, you're not going to go down a pub on Friday if you're training on Saturday, because you're going to get the shit beaten out of you. You're going to get 7 shades of blue and black knocked into you, and that's the last thing you want. So when you realise and you get a bit of competitiveness about you and you want to beat the person you're sparring, the next session you're like, right, I know when he throws that jab, that cross, he's coming in with that left hook. So you know, you can just slip under the hook, and just for example, do you know what I mean, you start picking up on people's traits, and the more pissed up that you get, obviously the more anxiety that you get, and eventually the more that you down spiral, right? It's like a rabbit hole. However, you're consistent to training and you don't drink and you get in that mindset of discipline, you're like, fucking come on. And then once you have the fight, that's it. That's the turning point. So that is the solution. If you are a man right now and you're suffering with anxiety and you've stumbled across this video in the weird corners of YouTube, just sign up for a local gym. Sign up for, it doesn't have to be MMA. I started off with kickboxing because I feel like that sort of utilises MMA in its best form. Other people would disagree and go with jiu-jitsu. Some people go for wrestling. I prefer striking personally. But yeah, please just do it, because it will make you feel so much better. The hardest part is turning up. Once you're there, it's nowhere near as scary as you think it would be. It's actually quite endearing. You're surrounded by people who you might think, oh fuck, he's going to beat me up. No, he's not. He's actually going to tell you, right, why don't you try boxing southpaw? Why don't you try boxing orthodox? Why don't you try putting your hand up instead of leaving them down here and getting hit in the face all over the place? So yeah, that's how I battled anxiety, and if I'm honest, I rarely get it now. And the confidence that I have is so much, is 100 times more than it would have been last year. And the one thing, if there's any reason to do the fight, the charity fight, if you can do it, doesn't have to be MMA, as I say, it can be white collar boxing. Loads of stuff do it. Loads of like organisations do it. The feeling after the fight is better than any simulation I've ever had in my entire life. You come out of that ring, that cage, that ring, whatever the fuck it is, and you're there in front of your family, you're there in front of your friends, the endorphins and the adrenaline drop off. All you want to do is just cry tears of joy. Like that's the only way I can explain it. And it's impossible to articulate it into words. It is just a feeling of bliss. It is unreal. So yeah, hopefully that helps, and yeah, take care.